Rolando Cruz and Alejandro Hernandez were wrongly convicted twice for the 1983 rape and murder of 10-year-old Janine Nicarico in Illinois. The initial false statements to the police, hoping for a reward, were used against them despite no physical evidence. Serial killer Brian Duggan confessed to the crime in '85, but his confession was not presented at their subsequent trials. DNA evidence eventually exonerated Cruz and Hernandez after they spent 12 years behind bars. The abduction and murder of Janine terrified her community. Rolando Cruz and Alejandro Hernandez, seeking the reward money, falsely implicated each other in the crime. In a grave misjudgment, the police used these contradictory statements to charge Cruz, Hernandez, and a Stephen Buckley. Despite the complete absence of physical evidence linking them to the crime, Cruz and Hernandez were convicted and sentenced to death in 1985. Buckley's jury deadlocked and he was never retried. In a crucial development in June of 1985, Brian Duggan was arrested for another abduction, rape, and murder. While in custody, Duggan confessed to 5 serious crimes, including rape and the murder of Janine. Despite the confession, it was not presented as evidence when Cruz and Hernandez's convictions were overturned on appeal in 1989, leading to new trials in the early 90s, where both were again found guilty. Cruz was again sentenced to death, and Hernandez received 80 years. Finally, in 1994, after a new trial was ordered for Cruz, DNA evidence from Janine's murder was tested and excluded both Cruz and Hernandez. Additionally, police officers involved in the earlier trials recanted their testimony. As a result, Cruz was found not guilty in November of '95, and Hernandez was released a month later, having spent 12 years behind bars, including time on death row. Both men received significant settlements. The DNA matched Brian Duggan, who had confessed years earlier. He was eventually sentenced to death for Janine's murder in 2009, but the sentence was commuted to life in prison when Illinois abolished the death penalty. So let me know what you think. Give me a like, comment, share.